my topic is multilingual education in India. The state-run primary and secondary schools gives instructions in mother tongue in the classroom along with English and Hindi medium of instruction. After a certain stage, the students are generally encouraged to switch to a system where English is the medium of instructions. While talking about the multilingual education, the policy documents and research assumes that the lack of equal access to education results into unequal development and growth, and finally ends up asking to the problem of cultural intolerance and separatist movements. Obviously, there leads to some negative impact on the overall different development of the country. The consequence is that while defining the goals of multilingual education, the policies and researches should keep the following agents in sight: the right in mother tongue, education to all linguistic communities, national integrity and cultural tolerance, promotion of culture, pluralism in future, production of better learners equipped with better adaptive capacities. The right to mother tongue education has been emphasized in both national and international forms. The number of Indian language and medium of instructions has decreased. The sixth All Indian Education Survey conducted by NCRT, the Central Institute of Indian Language, show how rapid is the rate of decrease in the use of Indian language as medium of instructions. This report states that when in primary level the number of Indian language used for medium of instructions in 33, it simply drops to 20 as one moves towards the higher secondary level. Therefore, it is not hard to imagine the fate of multilingual education in graduate and postgraduate levels. Focusing on the point of national integrity and cultural intolerance again shows the extreme insensitivity of the policy makers and researchers. Take for example the bilingual transfer model developed by the Central Institute of Indian Language. Myself, this model has proposed a specially designed successive dual language medium of instructions program for tribal groups in India. According to this bilingual transfer model, the tribal languages are used in the initial days of education along with the dominant regional language. As the learner moves towards the higher education with the graduate improvement in the experience in regional language, the tribal language structurally gets replaced with the regional language as the medium of instruction. This same trend is also noticed in NCR 2005 position paper on teaching English in India. To understand the true nature of the language-related policy documents, we need to focus on the implicit, unofficial, unwritten, de facto aspect of people's perceptions along with the official, explicit, written, major aspect of the position papers. Very often the success and failure of policy depends on the implicit, unofficial, unwritten aspect of what we call public opinion. Thus it becomes to understand the linguistic culture of the population in order to achieve the stated goals of the policy documents. It includes a deep investigation into the ideas, values, beliefs, attitudes, prejudices, myths, and religious structures. Also, all the cultural baggage that we bring to our dealings with language from our culture. The success of multilingual education in India primarily rests on mobilizing the public's efforts rather than suggesting solutions only to the school teachers and government officials, more specifically the introduction of multilingual education in India. Expects the involvement of parents in the dynamics of teaching learning process. To facilitate this process includes the change of our attitude towards the traditional concept of teacher and schools. We need to recognize the fact that learning happens not only in the school environment but also in the vast learning space and the large learning moments outside the formal structure of the Indian school system. Language is central to teaching and learning. The teachers and the students are preoccupied with books, course materials, computer screens, lectures, websites, seminars, and assignments. Except in the few subjects areas, language is not the focus of attention. Ideas are the academic activities goes on through the medium of language. What the nature of the medium is that it is transparent, can be seen through to the ideas it expresses. If the language comes into focus, it is often because of the struggle to make sense by means of it and less frequently because of the elegance or felicity displayed in its use. Language is a purely human and non-instinctive method of communicating ideas, emotions, and desires by means of voluntarily produced symbols. The symbolic nature of language is highlighted. The ability to communicate by means of a language is most instinctive, but it is the result of the learning process. The language is an acquired and transferred form of behavior, and it is required by individual to learn it just like any other subject. Along with all the other elements of the culture he is part of, language is the first element to be learned, and once acquired becomes in itself a key to unlock the entire academic and cultural world. Bringing language into focus is to see how it is performing rather than to look while knowledge to the ideas it is expressing. This leads to a focus on the form than on the substance. There are other factors that play a vital role in the interactions of teaching and learning process. They are cognitive, social, economic, affective, and the physical, along with the language in itself. The centrality of language within the teaching learning process cannot be challenged. There is an obligation to respect the fundamental rights of the human beings. Today it is taking hold within the national, legal and political system as well as in the framework of international relations. This has become a linchpin of the human-centric revolution because it affects the school and extracurricular activities. Education, the fundamental sentence is given to the mother language, first language. One of the fundamental characteristics that set human apart from other living beings is precisely the use of language. It allows the communication of message among individuals. This language forms a nexus within the human group with which it is wound together. It is also instrumental in enabling the organization of common activities in the schools and other academic institutions, as well as transmits culture from one generation to the next. Okay. Thank you for watching.